My name's Jim Turri, and I'm a maintenance dispatcher here at University of Maryland. I've been doing it for about 31 years, so I started in my 20s, and I take maintenance calls, trouble calls when something goes out in a building, or if you're too cold, if your lights go out, if your ceiling develops a leak or a flood, anything like that. Mostly the day-to-day emergency sorts of things. And I take those calls and I first type them into a notepad that talks, and I use headphones so I don't disturb other people while I'm typing. It has a regular typewriter keyboard, and then I transfer that information to a regular personal PC. When we first get home, Priya is waiting and she wants to play. So usually in our family, Holly does the cooking and I do the cleanup, and that way we both still have a decent amount of free time. Sometimes I do little chores if we need to do something. For example, I need to replace a latch on my kitchen cabinet.
You said you wanted some tea too, Dad?
Yes, please.
Do you want any sweetener?
Yes, please. One.
My name is Tracy Turri. I'm 20 years old and I'm a college student. I'm getting my associate's degree, hopefully, in early childhood education. I'd love to be a teacher. And both my parents are blind. I was raised in a very adaptive household. I don't have a lot of vision at all. But I do have light perception. I can see colors, shadows, shapes, things like that. Like if I'm about to walk into a wall, if there's backlighting, I can usually see it. I'm very grateful for the vision that I do have. I mean, even if it is just seeing light and dark and colors, you'd be amazed at how helpful it is. Sometimes the light does hurt my eyes, so I like to keep them covered. I don't have to, but for aesthetic reasons, my eyes don't look normal like most people's, and it embarrasses me a little bit.
I was born premature, and they had to give me oxygen to survive, and they didn't realize that if you gave too much oxygen, it would cause the optic nerve to, the blood vessels would dilate and then break, and the optic nerve would get scar tissue and eventually just not function. So I've been blind pretty much since birth. I remember when the baby was first born, our first son Micheal, and one of Holly's friends says, "Don't let your mother come." I say, "Why is that?" Because you'll learn to do things yourself a lot faster if you just have to jump in right away. I think the house I grew up in, my parents had to work very hard, and my mom worked nights, my dad worked long days, and so they really never had enough rest. And so sometimes there was, they were under tension, and so there would be yelling. And of course, when you have 3 children, there's always conflicts and things that come up. So I decided that when I had a family, there was going to be less yelling.